Like, I'm really, really impressed. I just got home from Sunday Mass, and the priest had some good words. The sermon was really good. Now, no, I don't go to Sunday Mass to be impressed by the priest, but it is appreciated when the sermon is of value. And today was really, really good. And I thought, well, why don't you share it? Basically, he started with mentioning a painting by Adolf Menzel. It's in the Berlin National Art Gallery, I think, and it's basically King Frederick addressing his generals before battle. Now, you're like, what does this have to do with the gospel? Well, listen up. He said, this artist, Menzel, decided to paint King Frederick last. But what happened is he died before he actually painted him. So it's an unfinished painting that has the generals all painted. But the king, who is the most important part, or who should be the most important part of the painting, is just sketched. And then he went on to say that, like, the same happens in our life. We're always dragging our feet to put Jesus at the center of our lives. We're always like, oh, when I retire, I'll have more time on my hands, or when this project is over, I'll go to church more and I'll pray more. And he said, it's not that we don't want to, it's that we think we have time to get to know Jesus, to spend time with him. And then what happens is we die, and we never get to do it. And I was like, yep, you're right. So I got my phone out, which is not something I do during Mass, but I needed to take down the notes because that was really good. But then he went on to say that, like, Jesus made time for prayer and rest. And this is where today's gospel comes in. If we go to verse 35 from First Mark, it says, very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place where he prayed. Now, this was after the Sabbath, and Jesus observed the Sabbath. He went to the synagogue to pray, he taught, and then in the evening when the sun went down, so Sabbath was over, he healed. But then the next morning, which is what we just read from the gospel, it says that he woke up early, he left the house and went off to a solitary place where he prayed. So there's rest and there's prayer. And there was something that he said that I really liked that he mentioned, is that even Jesus got tired after service. And this reminded me of the episode in The Chosen, where Jesus spends the whole day healing and literally goes to bed immediately after returning to the apostles. He's like, I'm tired and I'm gonna go rest. Sometimes even like we don't realize that even the spiritual and service and all the good things we do, they tire us. They are tiring. And we need refueling or to charge our batteries, similar to our phones. If we use them a lot, they need charging, and it's the same with us. Even in service, even if it's a good thing, we need to rest. And then obviously there's the fact that he prayed as well. And if we do things without reflection, it becomes monotonous, right? So, and I don't know if this example is like a Mediterranean thing, I don't know, but let's imagine the blindfolded donkey, which is used to like turn the millstone for grinding the wheat. if it had time to reflect on the work it does, it would realize how beneficial that work is. But because this donkey just goes round and round and round and does not have time to stop and reflect, and obviously we're talking about animals, so they can't really do that, but what he was trying to get at is if we just go and go, our life, even if it's in a service, even if it's doing good things, if we don't stop, rest, and pray, we're gonna burn out. And I was so glad that a priest actually spoke about it during Mass, because I think it's a church thing, but primarily the Catholic Church, which I am part of, we don't talk enough about rest. We talk about prayer, but rest is like, no, we cannot mention rest. But Jesus did it. Jesus made sure he rested because he knew that the work that he was doing was a lot. And he was tired as well. So, to get to the bottom of it, if we don't rest and if we don't pray, the work we do will become monotonous, will become the mundane, and we won't see the positive effect it leaves on others and on community and on church. But because we don't rest and because we don't pray, let's face it, we just hit a wall at some point and we're burnt out. And we now have a church that is burnt out. Everyone is looking for you. And Jesus replied, "Let us go somewhere else, to the nearby villages, so that I can preach there also. This is why I have come." The apostles thought it was a good opportunity to stay where they were, and, Jesus become even more popular because they were still, they still had this idea that Jesus is like this king and he needs popularity. But Jesus said, no, we're not doing that. We've done what we have to do here. We're going to have to go to another place where we are needed and where I need to be. But it was only because he was able to reflect that he understood and knew and was able to tell the disciples, no, we have to go somewhere else. We have to be somewhere else. That is what we're called to do. And what are we doing? Are we doing that? Are we resting? Are we praying? Are we reflecting? Or are we just go? And then what happens? We burn out. Everything seems mundane and monotonous. I've been through it. I'm going through it. So I know what I'm talking about. I'm not yapping. Thankfully, at the start of the year, I kind of got back to prayer time, and I'm taking it seriously and I'm doing it every day. And it feels better, like way better already. But the resting part is always an issue for me. So I hope we all find time to rest and pray and take them both seriously, because they are both essential. Whether it's in everyday life and also if you are giving service to the church in some capacity, we need to do it. And if you face people telling you that, we just have to do things all the time, just please remind them of today's passage and what Jesus did regularly. This is not something that is mentioned in Mark only. We see it many times that Jesus rested and Jesus prayed and he worked. I hope this was helpful. I hope you have a great Sunday. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Bye.